consideration of exports and employment, there are a number here. Locally, we can have sensitive nature area and environmental areas. Environment, climate change, and soil degradation. Questions we need to take into account in projection for the future. Will yield increase due to new varieties, and how much? Structural changes in farm scale in relation to the drivers, world food demand, national regulation. And we haven't been into this, but actually P will be a limit source in the future also. So that can also affect the production. And then it is, with the climate change, we will also have some uncertainty in relation to production. I will come back to that. Projections for global food production. These are projections. 70% between 2005 and 2050. Grain will increase, meat will increase, soybean will increase, trade with food strongly increase, food prices will change the relations, and bioenergy again will change. I think I have to speed up. Is that right? In Denmark, we have change in farmland. These are relations we have found from the statistics. We have in Denmark, as if farmland is not used for arable land, then it will be used for building roads on or expanding the towns and cities. So that will actually change the land use and change the arable land. This is for Denmark. We have a change of about minus 0.19% a year. For Fyn, we have 0.19. That will change the arable land, sorry. So for this scenario for Odense River, that means that we will take out about 1,700 hectares until 2020 and 5,600 hectares until 2050. If these trends will go on as they have been the last 30 years. We have also here some assumptions in relation to what will be the land use changes. The green one here is conventional food production. The yellow one is organic food production, afforestation, and available for other biomass productions. In these, we have assumed that the annual yield will increase, but with 0.7, meaning that the land will decline, the arable land will decline, but with this increase we will have room for more other types of land use. And in Denmark we have seen that the organic production has not had any problems with selling their productions during the finance crisis here the last years. So we believe that this production will increase. When these are also predictions, we don't know how it will work, but we believe that we will have a reduction in synthetic fertilizer over the time due to environmental protection, but also to increased utilization of our crops. Our livestock production will also decline. That is our assumption, but who knows? Because if the world wants more meat, Denmark is ready to produce it. Or the farmers are. Grain crops in Denmark, we have seen that the area with this is the total, where is it? Should be the total area with grain crops. We can see this one is barley. Barley had dropped. Winter wheat has gone up. Denmark versus Fyn, we can see that in Denmark as total we have a higher share of grain crops compared to Fyn. But these data will be put into our scenarios for Fyn also. Grain crops grown on Fyn, we can see the same trends. Here we have the barley going down, the wheat going up. Other crops, we have seen sugar beets going down. We have seen rape coming up, going down, coming up. This is, in Denmark, farmers are only allowed to spread out their manure on winter rape and grass in the autumn. So all pig farmers have winter rape, so that they do pre-mix. In relation to on dairy farms, we have seen an increase in silage production, maize production. We have seen an increase in grass production, and we have seen a decline in fodder beets. That is, yeah. The growth rate in crop yield. Earlier we saw that the yield increase per year was quite high, but over the last years, the average annual growth rate in these maize, rice, and wheat has actually dropped. Global production of bioethanol and biodiesel. These are projections for the future. We will see probably an increase in world ethanol production and also world biodiesel production. So that will also take some of the space of the area. This one I have been into. I have to speed up, sorry about that. Coming to climate change effects. Climate change will affect the sowing date due to that we have a longer growing seasons. This is the sowing date of oats and maize. And these maize here, it's March, April, May. And we can see by using two different models, two different climate models, the Hadley Center model and the Dutch model, that we are going to have earlier sowing dates as general. And the area with maize is going up due to higher temperature. Wheat area, this is the observed data. We have actually had a lot of work on collecting these data on regional scale. Here we have our observed, here we have set up a model, and this model is used by the Dutch climate model combined with the Hadley Center model, and we can see that the area with wheat will expand, especially here in Sweden, but also go further up in Finland. And it will be a decline down here. Change in maize area. Here we have oats at 2%. Was it because I'm late? But we can see that this area will also expand up in our in Denmark and Sweden and Norway actually. So combine all these information to scenarios. That is a high task or quite challenging. In Denmark we have tried to look on how will we be able to change. We have looked on market price effects, if these ones are and we have looked on non-market values. So that we have agriculture for nature here, extensive agriculture, market-driven agriculture, and high-tech agriculture. We have called them these four scenarios. The main drivers, market price, low, coupled to expansion of organic culture, high, if it's high, then we will have a high livestock production. Non-market values, that is environmental friendly and ethically reliable production methods, there we will have low consideration on when it is low consideration on environmental and climate change concern, but if it's high, then we have large consideration to environmental protections. These two these two drivers we have tried to put into these four scenarios here, and looked on what will the change in agricultural area, livestock unit, input, and so on be on that. Current, we have 62% of agricultural area. Agriculture for nature, we will have a decline. Extensive agriculture will have about the same. High-tech, 50, market agriculture, 70. So these are possible changes, and these ones we want to set up some models runs for. We can have one crop rotation as we have it today. This can be a dairy farm, this can be an arable farm, and then we will make change in these cropping system with here introducing grain maize, here maybe have more silage maize because of high production. Conclusion, global and regional drivers will determine future land use. Market forces and global demands plays a great role here, at least for Denmark. Policies will to a great extent determine the demand for bioenergy. So then we have to ask the policies. Policy will further determine the focus on non-market values. That means the farming for nature and the environmental protection and so on. Climate change in itself plays a minor role here, at least for the countries around Baltic Sea. Of course, the possibilities that maize will be introduced to your cropping system, that is a possibility, because maize also have the higher yields and they can be quite efficient as it is a C4 plant. So that can also be something that is good for the farmers. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sorry.
We have now 1 hour's discussion. Okay. But first we can have short questions to Kristen.
I was wondering about the way you say that your climate